times I've been to London, I've never actually experienced football culture, but you know what? Today changed that. For any Americans that are watching, we're talking about the S sport, but I'm not going to call it that because we're in London. Respecting the culture is important. Anyways, today I decided I needed to run an errand, so I was in Covent Garden, which I realize is a bold choice, but I figured it was early enough that it would not be a really big problem. And then the first sign of things going wrong started when I got off the tube. Once we were off the train, I started to notice that there were a number of people in the same kit, which I figured, you know what, I'm sure there was a game. But then we got in the elevator and things didn't smell right. And I hear someone behind me go, "What is that smell?" Which I thought was a fair question because I also had it. But it seemed like less of a fair question when two people wearing the same jersey answered very matter-of-factly, "It's probably the flares." The flares? And then I sniffed the air and I was like, I don't know that I've ever smelled flares, but if I did need to smell flares, I would agree that this is probably what they smell like. But everyone was very calm about this sentence. Everyone was very cool about it. The girl simply asked, "Oh, who's playing?" He replied Sunderland, and then she asked how many people were probably there, and he said somewhere between 40 and 1,000, which is a pretty big range. But once we were released from the elevator, I looked outside and figured, yeah, that is probably somewhere between 40 to 1,000 people. The number of flares being set off, definitely more than that. So after I watched all of that happen, which I was honestly like, you know what? I love a passionate group of individuals. Nobody likes sports more than I like sports, and this is pretty exciting. I then asked one of the cops, who was actually like very interestingly maintaining order in a way that I've never seen done before, "I need to go past there. How do I get through?" And she goes, "You can just walk through, but just cover your face because of the flares." Sure. I get through, I run my errand, and I think, you know what? That was enough excitement for the day. Let me get to my next task. Incorrect, because as I continued to walk, you'll never guess what I found. 3 more pubs overflowing with people and flares. And quite frankly, I thought it was really cool. We don't maintain polite order like this where I'm from. Things like this pretty frequently get out of hand, and frankly, if I were downtown in Los Angeles after a Laker game and people were setting off yellow and purple flares, I would not simply cover my mouth to get to my next errand, I would leave. But you know what? Everyone was lovely. Everyone was having a great time. Everyone very randomly would break out into song. And I don't know who won the game, but I really do hope it was Sunderland. I'm sorry to whoever I upset by saying this, but go Sunderland.